What's going on, YouTube? This is Lloyd Phillips of the Lifetimes podcast. Listen, this week, it's really about, what is it about? Wild parents at football games. That's really what it's about. It doesn't even matter what the sport is. I just can't believe people get all worked up at little kids' football games. And I don't know. I just think it's a little weird, to be honest. And, just various other niceties that I like to speak about. Layton's on here this week. We're all excited. Anyway, so thanks for listening in. Like and subscribe if you like the thing. Wait, I don't care. Even if you don't like and subscribe. If you hate it, I don't know, leave a comment still. It's going to be great. Love everybody, and let's get to the show. Welcome back to the Lifetimes podcast. I'm your host, Lloyd Phillips. It's good to be back for another week here. I know we're all excited for it. What's up, Layton?
Howdy, partner.
Yeah, so good to see you. So this week, real action-packed week like they all are. I'm not going to tell you any airport stories, for one, because nothing exciting happened at all, nothing I can think of. But I did spend an entire Saturday announcing little kid games, and then there was a middle school dance. Nobody cares about this, who's a new listener, because we're like, what is that? I'm not going to listen to this. I'm just simply going to say, though, a lot of high action. I've talked about little kid sports before and how parents are, and they get all worked up, and that happened this week. So I stare at the game through binoculars, like I'm watching the game. So I don't see anything that happens in the stands. You would think so. I'm in the press box, but I don't see anything that happens in the stands. I don't see what happens on the opposing side and the end zones. Nothing. I only just follow the ball because I gotta, make the calls. So I got binoculars, and some lady walks by the window, and she's like, "You guys see all that? You missed everything." I don't know what that means, but that's what she said. She said, "You missed everything." And I'm like, what? No, I don't even think I asked, because it was such a random thing.
Yeah.
She said, "You missed everything." And I probably looked at her for a second. She's like, she said, "The football coach is trying to fight Robbie." That's what she said. If she listens, I hope she didn't get mad that I think. Anytime I imitate anybody, that's usually what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But that's what she said. So I'm like, oh, well, I didn't see it. I have no idea. So then I'm looking, right, to see what's happening, because I missed all the high drama. Yeah, I missed. Anyway, about 10 minutes later, 5-10 minutes later, I see the cops walking with this guy named Robbie. Robbie's my friend, but this guy's named Robbie, and they're walking on the opposing fan side, and they go talk to the coach. And so now because of the lady who walked by, I have trouble trying to follow the game because I'm looking at the cops with Robbie. I'm like, what's happening here? And that was it. That was real high drama. I'll get to what happened in a second, but I just think there's a lot of crazy parents at sporting events.
Yep.
And now I'm not talking about, because there's also, I'm friends with some parents that listen and they get worked up by stuff, but we're not talking about philosophical differences. I'm talking about things where, bro, because my kids are 9 and 13. At 9 and 13-year-old sports, and parents are trying to fight the refs and fight seriously? Like, I just think it's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I've said it before. I grew up in a small town, so I'm not acting like I'm better in a small town. But it always seems like small town. Look, I'm still small town, right? It's like, but I'm referencing that because there's a lot of people listening. Like, oh, you better? No, I'm not better than you. I grew up in the same tiny town you did. I'm just saying in general, when you go watch city schools where they don't have a lifelong, I lived in this town 50 years fan base, Tulsa Public Schools got about 13 people in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even care.
Yep.
But small town people, you can be 2-8, but they're going to fight people if you say they suck.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's what it was. But this actually, even though like they were trying to fight this local, I think he's the president of the league or whatever. It wasn't even him. It was the opposing team. It was the football coach and the cheer coach got in a fight with each other.
What?
Oh! Listen, guys, I just thought of this. Because you know how Layton acts like he's sophisticated because he says Tour de France.
I am.
Tour de France. Tour de France.
That's how you pronounce it.
And whatever I made. Yeah. If you're from France and you're not, you're from Sepulpa. Well, guess what? It was Sepulpa. That's who it was. Yeah.
Real class.
Yeah, a typical real class place there. It was Sepulpa's who it was, by the way. That's actually a funny reference right here for this. The cheer coach got into it with the football coach, and they're screaming words at each other. You know, the F ones. And story, I was up in the stands, right? I didn't see it. And so I guess this lady got all of the cheer parents, and they're like, we're getting out of here. And so all the cheerleaders and the cheer parents left and walked off like big, sign of unity. Like, nobody messes with cheer, man. You know, I guess it.
So after the fight?
No, that's how it all started. Like, this was the big ordeal. And then I guess this local president, he walks over and he's just trying to figure out or defuse either way, but some people are mad. And so then they start like yelling at him and, yes, it's an ordeal, I guess. I missed the whole thing.
What grade?
That particular one would have been like, I don't remember, but it was either second to sixth grade. So I don't know, fourth or fifth, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere in there. I have no idea. I'd have to ask. I didn't.
When football starts getting real serious.
Yeah, but I'm just. Here's the thing. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand. Here, let me preface. There's some people on the. I'm not talking about soccer. I'm talking about regular people. Yeah. Don't get your feelings hurt, whoever's listening, whichever side you follow. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying, like, because nobody there, it's just like, I don't like this or I don't like that. It's not, I'm going to beat that ref up. Like, nobody does that in soccer. Nobody cares because it's a sport that nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Well, not that I saw. I already said last week, the only thing that anybody cares about in soccer is when you catch a ball on the side that doing a special move to kick it back. That's all they care about. And so I just don't know. I do two things. Sometimes I may yell at my child more than I should while she's playing. Once I realize that I'm doing it, I don't do it every week. It's not like every week I forget. It's not like that. So when I realize I do it, I'm like, no, I'm not going to say anything. So for the most part, when my kid plays, I don't yell anything at them or for them to do when they're on the field. Let's go to the youngest daughter because she is playing right now in this time of the season. I don't yell at the kid. I don't care. I just say stuff like, I don't yell at the kid about it, but when I do, I say like this. I was like, come on, Billy, you're letting the family down. That's what I say.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Yeah, well, anybody who like hears that right now, I'm like, wait, you don't yell at your kid, but you tell her she's a disgrace to the family? I didn't say she's a disgrace to the family. I say she's letting the family down. That's what I say.
Yeah, and then...
Well, the parents laugh, and she knows I'm playing. This is the point. I don't yell at the ref or act like he's an idiot. And like even if he is, it's just not a thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
If other parents want to do it and he's completely being an idiot, I'm okay with it. I just am not okay with reverting back to football here. I'm not okay with like chasing the coaches down or chasing them. Like what? For real?
Yeah. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings at the other team. I doubt anybody in the world from Sepulpa listens to this podcast, but I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Your kids aren't going anywhere. Like, it's not like they're going to the pros. They're not.
And if they are, for some reason, when they get older, that's when they'll figure that out, not in 2nd through 6th grade.
Yeah, and a 1 or 2% chance they're not even going to college on that team. I mean, just come on, kids. No, well, it's not kids.
Yeah, it's not kids.
Yeah. Kids, you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, parents. Like, it's not a thing that I just don't get worked up by.
Yeah, and I'll speak for the parents who normally don't talk, which I can't say because I yelled at my daughter the whole season last season. But if a parent is doing that, and then there's a whole bunch of parents not doing that, and they're sitting quietly watching their kid play the game like normal parents, if you're the person who is shouting at refs or coaches or whatever, that's just embarrassing to the fan base. You're putting a bad image on that school's grade fan base. It's just...
Well, here's why I don't do it. I don't think now I've really talked about football, but what's in my head for people that do this is like basketball, little kid basketball. It's more intimate. You know, you're in the gym, they're right in front of you. It's like
Yeah, that's true. Football's different because it's so spread out.
I don't in soccer, they're in big fields too.
Yeah,
so it's not like whatever. And the only guy making the calls, he's not right beside the parents. He's in the middle of the field.
True.
Because whatever. In basketball, I don't understand the yelling at the ref. Like, two things I've done in my life. I've coached a little kids team. So I actually would yell at kids, and I would yell really loud. The whole gym would hear me. But every kid on that floor, while I was yelling, and their parents knew that whatever came out of my mouth, I was just being silly.
Yeah.
I would be the loudest person in the gym, and I would scream. Opposing parents would be like, that guy's an idiot. But every one of our kids, even in tense games, and their parents would laugh because they knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Now, the opposing parents probably hated me. Like, they were like, this guy's the stupidest guy. But I'm saying, like, in general, I don't understand it. I've been a ref and I've been a coach. I'm sorry. I was a ref one time. I was 18 years old. I went and reffed a 3rd or 4th grade basketball game. Me and my friend, our high school coach said, hey, I need you to go up here and ref a game. We're like, okay. So we went up there, and parents were screaming at us like we're in the NBA. Like, to the point to where I got mad. This is the last game I ever reffed in basketball. Maybe I did a baseball game as a kid. No, man, I think that was it. I think that because I got so mad, and the parents were like acting like I was the dumbest kid. I was a kid, and like scream. Actually, I didn't even think I was 18. I think it was before that because I was a straight up kid. I was old enough to drive, but I don't think I was 18. So like screaming at me, and I was like in the game. I like turned around, not like tried to fight the parents where I ran up in the stands, but like turned around and threw my hands up like it was popping off to them because they were being idiots like that. Like, I'm a kid. I don't even know. I didn't even want to do this. Yeah. I didn't want to run, so I went to the, hey, you want to run laps to go? Yeah. So me and my friend, we went and announced the game. I don't even know. I probably got a little carried away about that whole subject, but I don't understand the fury. I don't. I mean, there's that thing where people say, are you trying to live
vicariously through your kid?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so here's what I actually think. If we're going to go really deep down, I do think this, and it puts me in the less cool box. I'm just being real. I think for people who are very, very athletic, not everybody, but I feel like for the people I know, for the most part, for the people that really made it in sports or whatever that means, like, good enough to where they felt pretty good about their career. Those are the parents that actually care less whether their kids play or not. Mm-hmm. It's the ones who didn't make it where they have a tendency to try to push them
more or harder.
Yeah, which for everything we just said makes it weird because, well, you didn't make it. Why are you going to expect your kid to make it?
Yeah, no, that's
you didn't even know what it took to make it.
Yeah,
I just don't get the concept. And that's where I say where I'm in the worst group with that one because like I would be, well, it's like I said, I don't yell like literally yell when I'm out there, but driving home, I'm very guilty of like, well, why didn't you do this? Should have did that. Makes me an idiot too.
I mean, then I'm worse than you because,
but you know what makes me an idiot? Because I'm like, just to reference what I said in the first 3 minutes, it's 4th grade soccer. Does it matter?
Yeah. No, I'm worse than you then because, to be fair, it was her first season. So I feel like I was trying to like get her to learn it fast because the team was good, our team. For 3rd grade girls basketball, I thought that they're pretty good. So when I was,
just on the surface is a crazy statement to say.
I know.
We were the best 3rd grade basketball. No. I'm not mouthing you. I'm saying that's the.
I had to say that first to say this. So they were good together, right? They had played before, yada, yada. She had never played. So when I would get on her, I was trying to teach her, because this was her first sport, period. Yeah. So I was trying to teach her, like, if you're lazy and you don't do your job, you're not letting, like, you down. Like, you're letting your team down. So I was trying to teach her the team aspect of a sport, because she had never done it. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm guilty of yelling at her while she's on the floor, trying to get her to get somewhere where she needs to be, and critiquing her on the way home. But my mom did the same thing to me, so.
Yeah, your mom blew it for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
For everything I just said, like, what's your mom's first name?
Ambra.
Ambra?
If we.
It doesn't matter, but where I'm going with this is like,
no, I was going to say her name,
Ambra,
but
did you make it? Calm down.
Actually,
how do you know all the
my
moves?
mom would tell you that she was one of the best Mound, Oklahoma basketball players on that court.
Well,
so.
I'm sure with all 7 of them, she probably was one of the best.
Shout out to my mom, Ambra.
No, we're not mouthing Ambra in her successful later life. I'm talking about little kid back. You went to Mounds, Ambra. Calm down.
She listens, I know, so she's gonna love this.
Yeah, bro. But I mean, look, I went to Locust Grove.
Yeah.
Here's what I do think is weird: is I went to a school. If you drive through the town, and when I was in school, we were 4A, so you like drive through the town. There's only for anybody in the rest of the world. 6A is as high as it goes. In Oklahoma, actually, yeah, 6A was as high as it went. At one point in my life, I believe it was 5. It was as high as it went, but at that time, I think we were 3A. Anyway,
Yeah.
They go 6, we were 4A, and I'm in this little town, and in that little bitty town, people drive through, and they're like, "How you 4A?" Which is always, I'm like, well, I don't really know. Like, this town's not very big. I'm not gonna say the town sucks. I always act like it's the greatest, right?
Yeah.
So I can't do that. But like the town's really tiny, and so well, it's because in 2 directions there are 4. I'm gonna educate the world. There are 4 directions. There is north, south, east, and west.
Did you guys know this?
That's right. There are 4, and in 2 directions for about 10 miles. In 2 of the 4, there's nothing but farms and fields, and everybody they went to Locust Grove. So that tiny town was big enough to have that amount of kids back then. Whatever. So where was I going with that? I remember that.
Good, because I don't.
I'm just saying, like, so I'm mouthing Ambra. Ambra.
Yep.
I just feel like there's an ER on the end.
It's not.
I honestly feel like she switched the letters.
So you think that she did that? Or like my grandma?
I think instead of the BRE, if that's how it's spelled, I think it's BER.
It's BRA, but you think it's BER?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, listen, right now, I got this buddy named... I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him out for this, but I have a friend who he's probably 5 years older than I am, and for 40 something years of his life, because the story's a couple years ago, 40 something years of his life, I guess he lost his ID or something, so he went to go redo it. And he had to give his birth certificate. He spelled his own name wrong for 40 something years of his life. Not on purpose, not because he wasn't smart enough to know how to spell his name, but he thought his name was spelled a certain way, and he like lost his license, and he went to go get her. However it worked, right? But they're like, "This is not correct." And he's like, "That's how I spell my name. Like, that's my name."
Yeah.
It's like, "No, that's not your name." Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I feel like if the situation's right, because I don't remember the situation that happened for my friend, but I just feel like if when your mom goes, they're going to figure it out together. I'm fine, Amber.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm cool with it, Amber. It's not your fault. You can call yourself Amber. It's like a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, a lot of people's name's John. They go by Jack.
Yeah.
James. Whichever one goes.
I think it's
John.
Jack. James.
Oh man, we shouldn't say that out loud because I don't know which one's short for that. It's like my name's Richard and my name's Dick.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
I know that one.
She'll figure it out. Her name's Amber.
Get your life figured out, Mom.
Yeah, your mom's name is Amber.
Yeah, she's lied to me my whole life.
Yeah, Ambry, unbelievable.
But what were you saying before?
My name's Royd. Crap.
That's not even close to being the same.
Yeah, you place a letter there.
Yeah. What were you saying before that? We were talking about Ambra being a stud on Mounds basketball.
Well, I was just saying, because I grew up in a small town, and I don't remember.
Yeah. This is why you guys listen to the podcast.
I rambled. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody. I rambled a little. I don't know where I was going with that, but she went to Mounds. I knew some high quality Mounds people in my day.
Oh yeah, we figured out that
high quality Mounds people.
They know each other.
Yeah, it's I remember.
That's a great town.
So I got this friend, and she went to Mounds also, and her mom is a teacher there. And I was at this college basketball game, and she said, "Hey Lloyd, have you met my mom?" And I said, "Yeah," but I had already asked a few questions about her mom before I met her, so I knew some, whatever I thought I knew. So like, "Hey, meet my mom." I was like, "Hey, it's nice to meet you, Mom." And she said, "Hey, Lloyd, this is my mom." I was like, "Hey, how are you?" She's like, "Good, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty good. You were my teacher in second grade." And she said, "What? What is your name?" And I told her my name. And she's like, "I can't place you." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I wasn't there the full year. I was only there for like 3-4 months, but you were my teacher." I was like, "And I remember you were awesome." She's like, "Well, thank you so much." She's like, "I'm trying to place you." I never went to school there.
So, okay. So you just lied.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
100%.
I thought it was going to be like another situation like a kindergarten teacher where she didn't remember you.
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, my bad.
Miss Back, she doesn't listen to this. Miss Back, I'm not talking about you right now, Miss Back. So it's unbelievable. I know you guys have heard it before. I'm not going to tell the whole story. No. I am just simply going to say, because I don't think I ever came back on a podcast and told
I don't think you have.
So what? If I did, that's fine. I'm going to rehash it. Not the whole story. I saw my kindergarten teacher at a funeral. She didn't know me, but she hugged my cousin. He's 4 years older than I was. And when he was in the grade that she taught, she wasn't even a teacher in the same school system. Right? And I'm like, you remembered him, and he's 4 years older than I am at a different school. And then we get to where I was in school, and you don't even know it. She walks right past me. Actually, it was me and my buddy Brad Cowan. And she walked past him too. And he had her. Well, the end part of the story that I never said on the podcast was my cousin Aaron, 4 years older than me, he wasn't even in her class ever. So she passes him after 30 years of being out of school and hugs and says by name, "Oh, Aaron, honey." He didn't even have her in class. How does that happen?
You weren't memorable, and he was.
That's unbelievable, man. Yeah, but back in the day, she said I wasn't memorable. I had this girlfriend in school. I'm going to say her name out loud. I mean, I may slip, but you said I'm not memorable. I don't know if I was or not, but I know she got on to me all the time, and that's because I had a girlfriend in kindergarten. And we were holding hands or sitting next to each other, and our knees were touching. Yeah, and she didn't like it. No knees were touching in Miss Back's class. I can tell you that. She's like, I was going to say you boys cool it, but that she didn't say boys. But you need to separate.
You guys are moving too fast.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So I just feel like that one hurt. That one hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm not giving you more time on this podcast, Miss Back. You don't even know I am. And when I told her, she acted like she knew who I was. But honestly, this day, I just don't think.
No, probably not.
I don't think she did. But she for sure knew my cousin, which is a little ridiculous. I'm going to say this really fast because, it comes out through the week. At this exact time, my cousin is in, not the same one, same side of the family, not the same cousin. He's in Miami right now. Miami's playing Pittsburgh. I don't know what the score is because we're up here, but Miami was killing Pittsburgh pretty good. And he's at the game right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Have you been to an NFL game?
No, I've been to 4 or 5 or 6 NBA games, never in one college football game, but never an NFL game.
I did go. I went to the very first NFL football game I went to, it was Kansas City, Jacksonville. I don't remember the year. I could probably do the math. Actually, I know I could find it because of the way it ended. But it was probably 2000. It's probably 2000, I think. And Kansas City kicked a last-second field goal to beat Jacksonville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the place went, they talk about the decibel level. Place went nuts. It was awesome. Anyway, that was the first game I ever went to. I don't remember anything else about it. Every time I try to go to a sporting event, I go there hoping that I can cross my fingers that something memorable happens. And I don't think I've ever seen anything memorable. Oh! Well, nobody's going to know this. Oklahoma City people might know it. Or,
This is about to be a nerdy stat.
Yeah. Well, I was at a game. Nobody ever has like no hitters or anything like that. But I was at a basketball game. It was Oklahoma City. It was when Kevin Durant was there, and Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, and the real cast, the one when they were good. Whenever we thought Ibaka was there. It was the game where Dallas Mavericks, Dirk shot a ball, put them up by 2, maybe a 2 or 3, whatever it was. Put them up by 2. There was literally like a second left, 2 seconds. They inbounds the ball. Kevin Durant turns around and shoots a 3 from real deep, and it sank it, and the place exploded.
Yeah, I bet
it was like that was. And at that time, I had crocodile and ostrich skin shoes on, and the person beside me landed on the tip of my shoe, and to this day I feel like there's a little dent in it due to that. As a matter of fact, you know what? Just today, I'm like, I got too many shoes. It's stupid. I'm gonna start offloading them. I mean, if I don't wear them, it's dumb. Why do you keep them? But for what I just told you, I think I got to keep it. Like that dent is in my shoe from that moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're definitely a hoarder if you just had a thought of keeping those shoes because that happened.
No, you're a hoarder.
I am a hoarder, but at least I can admit
you're
it.
A hoarder?
Yes.
Yeah. I knew something was up. Have you ever watched that hoarding show?
Yeah.
That's
staged.
It shows make me.
Oh, have you seen?
I'm not. Hold up. I know you say it's staged. That show's not. Okay. You can tell me what you want to tell me in a second. That's the reason I'm telling you that show is not staged. There's no way that you can get that many dirty trash, papers, food, years of stuff, animal feces, and throw it in a house that fills every room and a garage. No, because I grew up, I just told you I grew up in a small town. I have passed houses. That's what it looks like.
Oh, so Papa's small too. I've seen those houses.
Oh, that's right. So
I'm just saying, if Storage Wars can be staged, then so can Hoarders.
No, because Storage Wars, you just throw a little golden gem in one and then makes the show.
Sometimes it's buried deep.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. There was this is how I'm going to reference back to Hoarders. I was watching. There was a Matthew McConaughey movie.
You love Matthew McConaughey,
and it was about a. Oh man, I don't know. It was a small town, and I believe it actually took place in his town, like roughly around there. Maybe was it a funeral director or something like that? It was Jack Black. I don't know. I'd have to look the movie up, right? But Matthew McConaughey and Jack Black was in it. But in that movie, I'm referencing the dirty houses. It didn't take place in the movie. I'm just simply telling you that in that movie, I saw people in the movie, and I'm like, those people, they're not actors. Like they're real. Because I grew up in that kind of, like accents. I'm like that. Those aren't actors. Or actresses. Those are real people.
Yeah.
And I looked it up later. I think it was in the hometown he grew up in. That's what I think. For sure, those people, they weren't actors. They were in a movie, but they weren't actors.
Yeah.
That was really them. So having said that, you go back to this Hoarders. Those aren't actors on that show, and that stuff, that junk. No, man, that's it's real.
Well, that's probably real.
I mean, I know people that are. I know people that are hoarders, but they're not going to admit it. I'm not, but I'm telling you, those people probably don't even think they're hoarders.
Yeah, most of the time when they go in there and they start, cleaning out the houses or whatever, they get pissed off because they don't want to get rid of whatever they're trying to get rid of, and it's just trash.
Yeah, it's 100% trash.
Yeah. Oh, but that's what I was gonna say. Have you seen that video of a house? I can't remember what state it's in that has all those Amazon packages, and they're like from their front door, just covered in their yard. And like every day, the Amazon guy is unloading his truck, and it's just boxes on. I'm talking thousands of boxes. Have you seen that?
Do they open the stuff?
No, it has to be somewhere like very far because nobody steals anything. It's insane. I'll pull it up and show you, and then I'll show the people on YouTube.
In a neighborhood near Chattanooga, Tennessee, one home really stands out. It has hundreds of Amazon packages spread out across the front lawn.
Neighbors say this pile of Amazon boxes in the front yard of this East Brainerd home has been growing for months. But Dustin Nash says this isn't the worst it's been.
But it's the craziest news story that I had seen in a while.
Nobody steals anything?
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like. I mean, somebody could go steal 100 packages and you wouldn't be able to tell.
I gotta be honest, like we live here where we live. I don't think people. Oh, people do steal. I mean, I saw Facebook things. People do steal, but I think this is a pretty good place, to be honest.
I mean, that's decent. Yeah. I mean, it's good. I don't even think it's decent. It's
well,
good.
yeah, because that would be weird. Because you're decent, you'd relate it to the pulpit. I would never move there.
I wouldn't either.
I saw their football. I saw their
you saw how
their cheerleading squad.
Yeah,
I saw their 4th grade cheerleading squad the other day. Whatever grade it was, man, it was like 3rd through 6th, something like that. Yeah, it was a good one. Not to bring it up. It was a good deal. Here's what's funny is that outside. So outside these restrooms, there's a thing that says sanitation, like they clean it. This has been sanitized. I don't think it gets sanitized.
Could you tell by the pee on the floor?
I could tell by the metal pushing the door to go into it, and then the door, and then the floor after that. I don't want to get into that.
Why do people, or not even people, I guess, restaurants or builders, whoever the heck, if you go to like a restaurant and you go to the bathroom and you wash your hands, why in the world do they put the pool door handle? I just washed my hands and now you want me to touch the disgusting handle. Put a push. This is a PSA, people. Put a push on the bathroom. I don't want to touch the disgusting door handle. Or do the thing where I have to open it with a paper towel, catch it with my foot, try to aim it in the trash so then I'm not a douche and throw the trash on the floor.
Speaking of you saying that,
makes me mad.
A cool thing that I saw, and I don't remember if I saw this pre-COVID or not, but I've seen it a few times since, were the people that put the foot thing on the door.
On the bottom of the door, yes, that's genius.
Yeah, I think so. But the trash can by the doors, that's also a post-COVID thing. Before that, there was never a trash can by the door. That only happened at COVID where you could get paper towels and do it. But which is a funny thought to think, because for all the people that don't wash their hands, why wouldn't that already be a thing? Because because nobody wants to touch the door.
Nobody.
Because to be honest, I don't like people that use the bathroom and don't wash their hands. That's pretty gross. You ready for a secret on the podcast?
Yes.
This is going to be good. It's not really a secret once I say it, but just being real here.
And not that many people are here.
I don't know, man. I don't always wash my hands when you sprinkle, when you tinkle, be a sweetie, wipe the seat. I don't think when I pee, I always wash my hands. It's my own body. It's pretty clean. I'm fine with it. What's your thoughts on that?
So I don't either. But there's a difference between...
Oh, you're gross, man. I was just playing to see if I could draw you out. I always do.
Yeah.
Well, he's gross. Listen, guys, what you didn't know is
I've noticed that he doesn't have my own house.
I use a little mind trickery right there just to like draw him out. Yeah, bro, you never do. I'm going to buy you Purell.
Yeah, so go ahead and say that again.
Purell. I'm going to buy you Purell.
No, there's a difference between doing that and then going to a public restroom, using the restroom, and then not washing your hands, but then touching that door handle and walking out. That's even more disgusting. What I don't get, and I won't rant on this for too long, but they put the push to go in the bathroom, and then they put the handle to go out of the bathroom. Why wouldn't you just swap that?
Well, that's actually
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, okay, here's what I was going to say. This is a two-part thought, because what I was saying is, because then you're pushing it outward and you don't know who's behind the door, but you also don't know who's behind the door walking in. So there's that.
Yeah.
But same note, let's just go like a mall bathroom. the women's door and the one that's in my head, the women's doors here, the men's doors here. If you pushed them open at the same time, you'd get sandwiched in between doors.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
If you were, I don't know.
I
No, that's right. Because otherwise if you push it in both ways, then nobody's getting sandwiched. So there's that.
Well, that's poor design and engineering. So,
Well, I'm not an engineer.
I'm not either, but I could be.
I know, but
Bathroom door wise.
I've recently just learned that you don't wash your hands. That's pretty weird.
Oh. Well. I'm ashamed of myself. I think we probably need to end the podcast so I can go wash my hands.
It's okay. I'm gonna get with Ambry about it. Her name is
Ambra.
Ambra.
But you want to call her Amber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Ambra?
Ambra.
I don't think it is.
Ambra.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Thanks for listening in here. I'm probably going to have really exciting times next week. I'm going to tell you all about it. I got some really exciting things planned. And I'm going to get back to you. It's not about physical fitness, though. It's not that.
Oh, did you ever climb that mountain?
No. But I did drive up to it and stare at it and think, one day.
One day I'm going to conquer you.
One day.
Is that what you said?
No, but I did get nervous because I was in the middle of the field and I got stuck. I was starting to get buried. Wasn't my truck, right? So I wasn't trying to like really give it gas. But then I got all nervous because I'm in the middle of nowhere and it was rocking back and forth, but I wasn't moving. And then I'm like, oh man, this isn't good. So I finally put it in. It was already in 4-wheel, but I decided I was going to have to gas it a little more, and I did. And I inched forward. I literally inched forward, just like an inch every 5 seconds. And eventually, once I caught some traction, I got a little nervous. No, I didn't climb the mountain.
Maybe next week.
But I achieved greatness in the mud pits.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I love everybody. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I'm sure he's going really soon. And yeah, love everybody. See you next week.